Imagine a man who killed 17 young men and boys, not out of hate but out of a twisted desire for company. That man was Jeffrey Dahmer. He turned his perverse longing for companionship into a horrifying nightmare, leaving a trail of 17 victims in his wake. His actions were not driven by anger or prejudice, but by a grotesque yearning that warped the very essence of human connection. A desire for companionship, twisted into a horrifying series of crimes. Jeffrey Dahmer didn't become a monster overnight. His disturbing journey began in his early life. Born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in 1960 to Lionel and Joyce Dahmer, Jeffrey exhibited unusual behavior from a young age. A fondness for dissecting roadkill and an odd fascination with bones marked his childhood. His parents, though troubled by these signs, dismissed them as childish curiosity. The Dahmer household was far from idyllic. His parents' tumultuous relationship and eventual divorce deeply affected young Jeffrey. He became increasingly withdrawn, seeking solace in alcohol and his morbid interests. The isolation and lack of guidance allowed his dark fantasies to fester unchecked. At 18, Dahmer committed his first murder. He picked up a hitchhiker named Stephen Hicks, lured him to his home with promises of drinks and music. But when Hicks tried to leave, Dahmer bludgeoned him to death. Overcome with a sense of power and control, he dismembered the body, burying the remains in his backyard. This brutal act marked a critical turning point in Dahmer's life, setting him on a path of escalating violence. Jeffrey Dahmer's early life was a disturbing blend of familial dysfunction, isolation, and unchecked dark fantasies. His first murder wasn't an impulsive act of rage, but a calculated act of domination. The first murder was just the beginning, a stepping stone on the path to becoming a serial killer. The first murder was just the beginning. Dahmer's crimes escalated in horror and frequency. After his initial kill, Dahmer found himself spiraling down a terrifying path of violence. He committed his second murder in the fall of 1987, nearly a decade after his first. This marked the beginning of a horrifying spree that would claim the lives of 17 young men in total. Dahmer's modus operandi was chilling. He would often frequent gay bars and shopping malls, charming his victims with his quiet charisma before luring them back to his apartment. There, he would drug them, strangle them, and then engage in unspeakable acts with their bodies. He sought to create submissive, zombie-like companions by injecting acid into his victims' brains while they were still alive, a grotesque experiment that resulted in their deaths. His crimes were monstrous, his methods meticulously planned to avoid detection. Dahmer was careful to only kill when he had ample time to clean up. He would dismember the bodies, often keeping trophies as grim reminders of his deeds. He managed to evade capture for so long by disposing of his victims' remains with chilling efficiency. He had no qualms about using acid and power tools to obliterate any evidence that could link him to his heinous crimes. As the years went on, Dahmer's crimes became even more brutal and inhumane. His bloodlust was insatiable, and his methods of murder turned more sadistic. His dark desires led him down a path of unimaginable horror, a path that he walked alone, leaving a trail of destruction and despair behind him. Dahmer's reign of terror continued for years, leaving a trail of victims and unspeakable horrors in its wake. His chilling legacy is a stark reminder of the depths of depravity that a human being can sink to, forever etched in the annals of criminal history. But even the darkest nightmares must come to an end, and so it was with Jeffrey Dahmer. In July of 1991, Dahmer's reign of terror was finally halted when he was arrested. The trial that followed was nothing short of a media circus, revealing to the world the chilling depths of his depravity. Dahmer openly confessed to his crimes, providing a gruesome catalogue of his monstrous acts. His confessions, as chilling as they were, brought little solace to the victims' families. The public outcry was immense, the shock and horror reverberating through society. Sentenced to multiple life terms, he was banished to the cold confines of a prison cell. Yet, even behind bars, Dahmer was not safe. In 1994, he met his end at the hands of a fellow inmate. Jeffrey Dahmer died in prison, but the memory of his horrific crimes lives on, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the human soul.